Um, I was just telling Comfort that I was looking to the universe for someone, and Comfort came into my life looking at answering my questions I was looking for. So, but we'll get into that later. Polka Dot Rabbit podcast. If you do not know already, we are here to uplift humanity. Overall, because we all have to live on this planet in this third dimension. And we have to. It would be great if we could all get along and live in harmony and peace. I think that would be a great thing. I don't think that's cliche at all. I think why not? I'd rather do that than be fighting and stuff.
For sure.
Um, Also here to help assist with information for the melanated people on the planet that have been might not been have the that type of information. They have to search hard for it. So we're here for that. Okay. So if you haven't already, polka.rabbitpodcast.com, please go check out my book. That's it for me. And I want to get to my wonderful guest here, Comfort. Please introduce yourself. Tell them what you are, what you do, and all that good stuff, please.
All right. My name is Comfort. I'm at Comfyp on Instagram, and I am a psychedelically informed sitter and facilitator. I'm also a mycologist, so I grow mushrooms and I teach people how to grow them. And I make a product, tea, chocolate, and honey, and a bunch of other things that are related to psychedelics.
Mm.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
It's
That's
real
that's
beautiful.
that's a that's a great intro. So
Also,
can
and I'm in the DMV. I'm in the DC,
she's
Maryland.
in 4 months ago for 2 years, DMV. Shout out Richmond, Virginia, all my people in the RVA. And
Mm.
so okay, I'm gonna get jumped right into this. So how in the world did you get into psychedelics? Please tell that story.
Oh, well, okay. So I got into it through my life coach.
Okay.
In 2020, during the pandemic, I got a life coach. I was like going through, I guess, like the beginning of my spiritual journey. So I had a lot of questions.
Mm-hmm.
I was the dynamics that I was relating in, and my life coach in 2021 held this women's retreat called Wild Women Worship,
Mm.
and it was all about the wild, the unbridled, untamed side of a woman,
Mm.
um, and honoring that. And let me tell you, it was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It was amazing straight from the gate. Um, for one, it was like a communal setting, so it was a bunch of different women all in one space taking mushrooms.
Oh
And to
wow.
me now I'm a little bit more versed in it, so it was a fairly low dose, so only 2 grams.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, that was the first time I was able to hear myself, see myself, and feel encouraged by the God of my own understanding. And I
Mm.
remember really distinctively um, having this moment where I was just talking. Maybe two women were having a conversation, and I interject with my own thoughts. And a woman was like, "Yeah, because she's right. Like she's really speaking some truth."
Mm-hmm.
And I remember feeling like, or saying aloud, "This is the first. Yeah, because this is who I am when I'm by myself." And then it just hit me like who I am when I'm by myself. I'm sharing that with other people,
Mm.
and I
Yeah.
and I I knew from that moment on that I wanted to give more people the opportunity to just be themselves. And I
Mm-hmm.
mean, my whole life changed after that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. So what did even though it was like a lower dose, was it would you say it was like the for that time like the perfect amount like
Oh, it was
for
the
that
perfect amount because
yeah.
I'm not a reader.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
sign up for things, best believe I ain't read nothing. They just showed me where to pay and I just submitted my
Just
money.
show up.
So I didn't know that we were going to be doing mushrooms anyways.
Oh,
I had no
really?
clue. Yeah, I had no clue.
Damn.
I like was dragging my feet. At the time, I was dating this Scorpio Sun, Sagittarius Moon,
Mm-hmm.
and we drove from DC to Atlanta where the ceremony happened.
Okay.
And I just didn't know what we were gonna do, and I was kind of like, I was enjoying hanging out with my boyfriend, and um, I was dragging my feet. And
Mm-hmm.
then when I got there, maybe like an hour later, she was like, "Okay, everybody, put your pajamas on. We're gonna start." And then they hand us this bag with this stuff in it, and yeah, it took off. It was the perfect amount. It was the
Mm-hmm.
perfect strand, the
Yeah.
perfect amount, the perfect
Mm-hmm.
setting.
Mm-hmm.
I got to see, so I learned so much about mushrooms in one day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And after that like experience, what like shifted in your reality? You know what I mean? Not like on a, but just like what changed, what did you see different about the matrix? You know what I'm saying?
I'll say what I saw different was more about myself.
Okay.
So I was already able to see beyond the veil, but I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't able to see beyond the veil and be myself.
I got you.
So when I had came to that realization that I was being in front of people who I am when I'm by myself,
Mm-hmm.
I I felt myself feel not separated from who I really am
Mm-hmm.
in the presence of other people,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
not
yeah,
like
yeah.
shrink myself. And that really was that was like the glitch in the matrix that showed me everything I needed to know.
Mm-hmm.
Like it put a battery in my back is how I felt.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I dumped my boyfriend shortly after. A lot of
Oh wow.
things happened, but it was wonderful. Yeah, it was wonderful. It wasn't that I saw my reality different. Well, I'll say this: that was the first time I ever got to see how spirit moves in a room.
Mm.
So we were in a group setting, and there would be periods where everyone's just having small conversations amongst whoever is around them, and then
Mm-hmm.
periods of silence. And there was this young woman during a period of silence who just started talking out loud about her relationship with her mother.
Mm-hmm.
And it was almost as if she was channeling for everyone in the room, because
Yeah,
after she
yeah, yeah,
finished
yeah, yeah.
talking, every person in the
Everybody
room had,
started.
yeah, everybody
Mm-hmm.
started crying because she was
Mm-hmm.
saying something that touched each of us. And I really felt
Mm.
like what we were seeing was like spirit use her as a vessel or a vehicle to
Mm-hmm.
like help us all transmute something.
Mm-hmm.
And it was beautiful.
What being around considering you said it was all females, correct?
All women, yeah.
Okay, so women. So what did you feel a certain amount of energy just the fact that you were amongst all women? I mean, was that a factor? Did that factor all that you felt you felt?
No, no, it's
Mm.
not that I felt like, the vibes from like the goddess archetypes in the
Yeah,
room or
yeah, yeah.
anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't, I didn't feel any of that.
Mm-hmm.
What I felt was just the presence of something real,
Mm.
the presence of something that was intangible, the
You
presence of
know,
God, really. Like,
yeah.
I just felt, I felt God and seeing God in everyone,
Mm.
like, and
Gotcha.
seeing my reflection in them, and then
Gotcha.
saw
Gotcha.
how spirit jumped from person to person, and
Mm-hmm.
each person became a vessel for that moment for whatever needed to be transmuted in the space.
Is it like kind of like we talk about the counterfeit personality? Is
Mhm.
that when you first realized that the counterfeit
There we go.
personality was real, and
That's
that you
it.
kind of conquered it?
Yeah, yeah. So I'm a schizoid. Hi,
Mm-hmm.
my name is Comfort, and I'm a schizoid. And I think that was the first time I felt myself live without my counterfeit personality.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow,
That was,
that had to be heavy right there, cause like yeah, cause once you take these type of trips, it's like the 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 reality is
mhm.
so real. You know what I'm saying? It's like watching a movie and you're like, oh damn, that's me, or that's not me. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, God, that had to be something else, boy.
for sure.
Woo.
And so shortly after that, I wanted to do it again because the first experience was so dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
It was so amazing. So I bought mushrooms from
Mm-hmm.
someone in Las Vegas through a
Okay.
guy that I was also seeing,
Mm-hmm.
and or a new guy. Maybe I dumped my old one, got a new one.
Yeah. Oh man. Go ahead, comfy.
Look, hey, I have a good time.
Hey, I
Um,
know that's right.
and so I had gotten some mushrooms from this person, the person I didn't know, and I took maybe like a gram.
Okay.
The worst trip of my life.
Yeah, yeah,
It was the most painful experience of my whole
yeah,
life,
yeah, yeah,
and it
yeah,
was
yeah,
almost
yeah.
as if it was almost as if I was seeing something that someone has pointed out in me.
Mm,
When they pointed it out, I took it as a negative and I
mm-hmm.
sat on it. And when
Yeah,
I saw
yeah,
it
yeah,
again in
yeah,
myself, I like chastised myself for something that was
yeah,
negative.
yeah.
And luckily, I ended up videotaping or just audio recording that trip, so I could play it back. And later on,
Mm-hmm.
it showed me how like a bad trip can become a wonderful teaching
Exactly,
moment for you.
exactly,
If you
exactly.
just surrender,
Mm-hmm.
because really what it's showing you is
Mm-hmm.
yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Just not in a super gentle and like, oh, everybody love and light.
I remember Bob Marley said, "The truth is an offense." You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? The truth is an offense, and sometimes, you know what I'm saying, what we really see, and, and look at, it could be quite offensive. You know what I mean? Because it's oh, wait a minute, I think you froze on
yeah.
StreamYard, but yeah, okay, there you go, you back.
Hmm.
I was like, man, am I tripping? But but so yeah, you know what I'm saying. So it's like, and I agree. I've had a similar situation in which, you know, it's just pretty much horrid at that time, when you're going through it. But after the fact, when you're reflecting, you're like, God dang, that's exactly what I needed. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And yeah, yeah, yeah. So did you? Because I know Baba Kalindi has a program. I think it's 5 mushrooms, 5 grams, 7 gram, 9, and on up. Did
Hmm.
you do that ladder as well?
So I'm 7 grams, and this year I'm gonna go to 9 grams. I
Oh,
really
we're in the
want to
same
just do a
place.
square 10. Yeah, I want
Okay.
to do a square 10.
Okay.
I'm just waiting for the right facilitator, which I think is going to probably be a partner. Like I want
Yeah.
it to be
Yeah.
someone I love or I'm in
Yeah.
love
Mhm.
with,
Mhm.
um, more than somebody who works in the psychedelic space.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So I just have to like create a setting for myself where I can like
So. Mhm.
be me.
Yeah, I got you. I know. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I got you. I'm with you. So, how was your 7 gram experience?
Woo! So I orgasmed for 6 hours. So when I decided I wanted to do 7 grams was, let's say, in 2022. It was November, like the week of Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving had passed on a Thursday, and I was in Atlanta
Mhm.
on a Friday. So
Oh wow.
yeah, I think I drove actually by myself. Um, 7 grams taught me a lot about. So let's start here.
Okay.
The thing I like about mushrooms is that it kind of shows you what already has momentum in your life. Okay.
Mm.
Nothing new appears for you in the journey. Everything that you shows up is what already has momentum.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. Yeah.
already floating around in your subconscious, and all it is being
Mhm.
brought to the surface.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
at that particular time, I think I was just praying for like for my maybe like more safety around men, or
Mhm.
like more feeling of like being able to rest around men. And so I had attracted an opportunity to go on this journey with OE in the Gin room.
Okay. Shout
And
out
so,
OE in the Ginger Room. Shout out.
you're right.
He's my Morpheus as well. So
Yeah, he's so wonderful. I love his story self. And so I get this opportunity and I come, and it's OE and then another young man who was also going on a 7 gram journey. So 2 men
mhm.
and myself.
Mhm.
And when I got into the journey, I started to feel myself become extremely aroused and extremely turned on, to the point where I couldn't help but make audible sounds.
Mhm.
Like, oh man, you would have thought a cat was in heat, baby. It was
Mhm.
it was
Yeah.
me, oh yeah, this man, and a cat in heat. And I
Mhm.
started to feel that orgasmic energy, but I was so afraid at the time to allow it to like be all out in its fullness, because I
Yeah.
was
Yeah. Yeah.
afraid
Yeah.
that if I express too much of this, that I'm gonna turn on the men in the room and something to
Mhm.
happen.
Mhm.
Even though in my mind I knew these are safe people, and I
Mhm.
trust OE as a safe person to facilitate for me.
Mhm.
And so I went through this I went on this journey of like healing sexual repression through allowing orgasm.
Mhm.
where I was trying to sit on an atom bomb that was pleasure, right? So
Mm-hmm.
measuring
Mm-hmm.
pleasure as an atom bomb and trying to sit on it and squash its blasting power, to a place where the universe was really showing me that, like, all of this energy is, you have access to at any moment.
Mm.
And so on the other side of that, so to me the journey begins once the psychedelic feelings are over.
Okay.
The
Okay.
psychedelic
Yeah.
feelings is like an elevator ride. So you
Mm-hmm.
go into you
Oof.
get into a skyscraper and you go into the 72nd floor.
Mm-hmm.
This adjustment you feel, that bubble in your stomach that you're feeling,
Mm-hmm.
it's
Mm-hmm.
adjusting you to a new frequency.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
once you get off get off on that floor, that's when the trip mellows out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now you
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
see who you're here to see. You go
Mm-hmm.
talk to, you go handle your business. And
Yeah.
that's when the
Yeah.
journey
Yeah.
begins, because all that time you had to be in here, now you're going to go
Mm-hmm.
live it.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah. Yeah.
when it was over, what I had recognized was that when a woman allows herself to be turned on in the presence of a man, it is healing to him,
Mm-hmm.
because he learns that he doesn't have to hide himself,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
gets to
Yeah.
embody the fullness of his energy. And it also revealed to me that I had attracted men who could hold space for my greatness, and
Mm.
that I robbed myself of the experience of being around men who can hold space for that type of energy and just be in it without trying to create anything, without trying to insert themselves in anything.
Mm-hmm.
And that 7 grams was just so profound for me.
Um, did you find yourself able to navigate a little easier on 7 grams?
7 grams, yeah.
Yeah.
7 grams
Okay.
was
Yeah.
easy
Yeah.
for
Me
me.
too.
Well, it's never easy for me because I get like, oh, I'm like a very, my energy is big naturally, but
Mm-hmm.
it just gets like beamed
Oof.
up on
I mean,
mushrooms. So
I'm the opposite. I'll be sitting there, hold on, like a like like a roller. Yeah.
yeah, I go,
Well,
I'm
certain
like,
points.
I'm
Certain points
up.
to say.
I'm like channeling and
Yeah.
vibing, and I'm in the
Oh
energy
yeah. Yeah.
for
Yeah. Yeah.
real. So
Yeah. You know how y'all sisters be doing it. Y'all, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? y'all,
Oh my
y'all,
God.
y'all next level, boy. And I'm, oof. I'm gonna tell you. So, it's interesting because earlier we were talking about mushrooms and sex, etc. So let me ask you this question because, I remember Baba Kalindi because it's actually kind of funny. I've been actually he's been like on repeat on YouTube at night before I go to sleep, like listen to his lectures. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
I had the honor. I don't know. Were you there at Sadiq's Bistro that time with Oi when he was lecture? Oh,
Mm-mm.
you were there. Okay, I didn't know if you were there in that. I don't know if we might have met before, but anyway, I remember briefly talking to him about a couple of things, and that's when I was kind of getting all in all this, and it's interesting me now because it I remember him talking about how like in Kemet how
Mhm.
that's all like technology and how like they used to take it and they'd be able to like the people would come off the walls. You can go in it's the whole experience is for you to I guess experience with the light body. I guess that's
Mhm.
a better way to look at it. And it's amazing to me of how that part has been lost from us. You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
yeah, like you know what I mean? Because something that seemed like uh um so intricate, so such an important thing in our culture in our way that's been completely gone. You know what I mean?
For
Uh
sure.
yeah, but so let me ask this question. Okay. I'm going here with that. The whole thing because Baba Kalindi was like, people when they did martial arts, they did mushrooms. When they
Definitely.
Baba, everything, they were like, everything was revolved about, I guess, elevating yourself with the mushrooms. And you were saying that sex as well is elevated with the mushrooms. Could you kind of talk about that?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Well, for me, so I've had three sexual experiences on mushrooms.
Mm-hmm.
One with penetration, one receiving oral, and one giving the oral.
Oh,
Right. So
okay.
let's say
Oh,
the three
yeah.
basics
A combo, yeah.
ooh. And these are all three separate occasions, three separate people. And the very first time I actually did Sumerian blues. So I got a spore print from OU before he went to Bali.
Mm-hmm.
And I did 2.5 of Tamarian Blue.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember the young man who I was, for one, I just want to stop and say, I'm at the point in my life where I really attract the most beautiful young men.
Mm-hmm.
And they can hold such real space for me, and it's just so great. And this particular person is someone I'm in a friendship with,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
there's
yeah,
no
yeah.
like feelings of romance, but we
Yeah,
can
yeah, yeah, yeah,
we
yeah,
can
yeah.
connect sexually, and it's like it's love, but it's not like attachment, and I
Yeah,
really
I got you.
appreciate
I got
that.
you.
And so in this experience, I just remember him being on top of me and my eyes being closed. And even though there was something happening to my physical body, I was in another world enjoying like
Mm.
different pleasures. And I got
Mm-hmm.
to see his face and energy change and morph into these different types of kings and
Oh wow.
warriors and amazing things. And I just this is when I kind of realized that maybe my archetype is more like a sacred prostitute,
Okay.
because I
Okay.
saw how the benefit of connecting with him in that way. I had it put me in the space of prayer, and I was just saying affirmations over him,
Mm-hmm.
and just sending him so much loving energy,
Yeah.
so much white light, so much
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
grace, and even though we were in a sexual experience, it wasn't perverted at all. If that
Mm-hmm.
makes any sense, there was no it was just pure godliness,
Mm-hmm.
pure godliness,
Mm-hmm.
and it was wonderful. And I know
Yeah.
that Baba Kalendi's wife, Mama Ayana, always talks about 7 grams being the aphrodisiac dose or a
Mm-hmm.
kundalini dose,
Yeah.
but mushrooms as a whole are an aphrodisiac. So
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
me, a
Yeah.
microdose might make me feel
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
loose
Yeah.
in the hips. So hopefully I answered that question,
Yeah. You did. You did.
but then at the
Yeah.
same
Mm-hmm. Go
I
ahead.
was going to say, but on the same time, I had received oral from somebody for 3 hours
Mm-hmm.
during
Man.
a, I know, during a 3.5 gram journey. And it was it was unlocking to me. So when I journey, I don't go places, meaning like I don't be interacting with them things that I be seeing. And maybe because in my regular everyday life, I already see a lot of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and
I can see that.
I get spooked out too
Yeah.
quick. And
Yeah.
I don't want to be in a conversation with something and I just don't know if it's good, bad, or indifferent, honey. I'm good. Usually I actually interact more with like goddesses and like the mother archetype and Gaia and the mycelium on a different level.
Yeah. I got you.
But in this particular time where I was receiving oral sex, it kind of just brought up a lot of shame, you know. And
Mm.
I remember the young man who was with me saying, that he wanted to penetrate me. He wanted to change because this is 3 hours. Like I have an hour long audio recording of us, just audio, no video,
Mm-hmm.
of what I was saying during the experience,
Mm-hmm.
because he felt like spirit was telling him that he needed to give me this thing. And I'm over there crying for hours, crying, moaning, yelling about how shameful I feel about receiving pleasure.
Mm.
And how much I've always wanted it, but I just couldn't loosen up my jaw
Mm-hmm.
enough to tell the truth about the things I desire.
Mm-hmm.
And
Got you.
going back to this very first thing you said about the journey with mushrooms is that it takes away a veil that separates you from who you really are.
Yeah.
You know, and that truth that I walk around with shame, knowing I want something. And this could be
Yeah.
anywhere. I could know I want a red BMW,
Yeah.
but feeling too shameful to admit the things that bring me pleasure.
I let me ask you about this. Like,
Hmm.
there's a certain time. I don't know. I know you know more than me about like the or you used to kind of tell me about like the different, I guess, stages of it all when you're doing it. Like,
Hmm.
certain time when the peaks and valleys, all stuff like that. Um, do you ever feel a time? It's like when you're coming down. I guess that's the way you want to put it. That you're being pulled back to this reality. Do you ever have that sensation?
Yeah, maybe like at hour 5 or 6, probably around
Yeah, at
hour
the
five
end.
or six,
Okay.
definitely. And I guess
Okay.
that sensation to me is like, okay, if you have all your light body, your cell body, your energy body, it's like all those three things that get condensed again.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes
You
sense.
know, the aura
That's
just.
yeah. That's like, I guess technically, from what I'm learning now, in Master Yao's class, that's like a metaphysical. That's a good answer metaphysically.
Yeah,
Yeah, because and once you can kind of understand if you can understand what you said and science behind it, it makes perfect sense.
yeah.
Yeah, because I always wondered about that. I haven't talked to Oi. I mean, I hit him up on what's the fam. I haven't talked to him about this stuff like this in a while, um, but that was a very interesting experience for me because every that one specific time frame on the journey,
Hmm.
that's when I realized that this place isn't what it is. If
What's
that
this
makes any
place?
sense.
When you say this place, what do you
This
mean?
this this third dimension, this yeah this
Mm,
yeah. That's when I had a whole different um I now have a whole different perspective on life and death, etc. Once
mhm,
I went and came back and kind of, you know
mhm.
what I mean. So I have a whole different perspective. Like my father just passed away a couple months ago, and of course I'm sad and grieving, but at the same time it's like going through my experiences, I realized he's not even gone. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Yeah,
yeah.
you see him,
I
so he's not
understand this
gone.
so clearly. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not gone. He's not gone at all. He's on the other side of the hydrogen atom, so to speak. But as far as gone, and us connecting with and knowing how to the way our ancestors always connect with our ancestors that transition. You always got a telephone. There's ways that we can connect. So
Yeah,
in
you can bring
knowing
energy forward.
you, yeah, like in knowing that aspect of African spirituality and also the mushroom spirituality, it comes together in a reality of like its own reality. So I can't even think about all the humdum stuff. Oh man, you're gone. Well, all the stuff that most people say when it death in Christian church and all stuff like that. I don't see that at all.
You know,
You know
it's
what I
so
mean?
interesting you say that because
Hmm.
when I recognized that elevator ride that I was describing, it
Hmm.
was on 7 grams, and I
Mm.
remember getting off the elevator, and these beings were like, "You made it, like, welcome home." And I'm like, "Oh my god, thank you, I'm here." Of course, my world that I'm living in is like a fun house, so
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
I'm getting off the elevator to a carnival.
Yeah,
But it
you
kind of
finna get
had
down.
it kind of had like some kind of like Mayan or like ancient Aztec kind of hieroglyphs like on the rides
Okay.
and things like that. And I remember getting to this space where when I started to feel that orgasmic energy really
Mhm.
revving up. I come from a woman who's never had an orgasm, so I came
Mhm.
birth through a vagina that's never orgasmed.
Oh wow.
And I remember getting to these high peaks of orgasm and hearing my grandmother tell me about her pain and about her struggle and about her desire to lean into pleasure, but not necessarily feeling encouraged enough to do it. And so it's like in those moments, I can communicate with that other side so clearly, and that other side can communicate with me, you know, which is really, really cool.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's definitely important. I just feel like I became so much more free. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Once, and I still say like the perfect analogy or the first perfect way to explain it is like the whole matrix thing, like as far as like being the matrix and outside of the matrix, and
Mhm.
because like even the movie, like coming in, coming out, taking the pill, and everything, like being able to see the reality, just like when Morpheus and Neo were talking before he took the pill, he
Mhm.
explained everything to him, the veil, everything we're talking about.
Yeah.
Perfect analogy, and this can be connected with this experience as well. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
for
Even
sure.
Alice in Wonderland. To keep it real. You know what I'm saying? That yeah, that I mean, not to be too cliche, but You
It's
know,
true though.
yeah, it's true. And this, there's another thing I thought about. Do you remember the movie, the original Willy Wonka movie? Do
Hmm.
you remember when they were going down that tunnel?
Oh yeah, yeah, a hundred
Yeah,
percent.
yeah. You know what I'm saying? When I saw that, I was like, that reminded me so much of a trip. You know
Of
what
a
I'm
trip.
saying? You know what I'm saying? So wow.
It's so
So
interesting
okay,
that
yeah.
you had said something that reminded me of this. So majority of the time, so I sit for people to take high dose journeys.
Mm-hmm.
So if people reach out to me, I used to have a link on my link tree, but I don't anymore because I really want to revamp it. I usually sit for people, just me and another person, and I want to do it again. I want to do it again. I want to start doing it again, but I'd like it to be like me and a co-facilitator,
Okay.
especially because the majority of the people I sit for are
Mm-hmm.
men.
Man, yeah, yeah,
Majority of the people who come to me who are willing to pay for a sitter, who are willing to go on the journey without so much hesitation or resistance, are men.
mm-hmm.
And what I've seen from sitting for so many men, I'm probably up to about 12 men and 4 women
Yeah.
outside of a retreat setting. So I host women's retreats. So I've sat for plenty of women, but just in a one-on-one dynamic.
Not
Hmm.
not to go too far down, the tantra road, not just yet, but just learning what I'm learning, how like men, the yin and yang, the male energy, females. Do you think that factors in that as well, or do you think that's just your overall personality? Because there, and even when we had our session,
Hmm.
um, if there was to, it, it was all females in our tantra session. Even if I were to doing it again, I couldn't see it being any other way but females doing it.
Female, yeah,
Because
women
of
doing it.
yeah, exactly. Because of women, yeah. So I can only see that way because the energy felt right. So I
Hmm.
think that wouldn't that be kind of? Do you think that's a reason why men, or do you think it's something
Yeah,
else?
I mean, I think that I mean, I think the energy I give off is a safe place.
Yeah,
I'm a resting place for men,
yeah,
not a rest stop.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
men come over here to experience rest and ease and the
yeah.
power of their own energy, because all I do to
Hmm.
them is hold the mirror so that they can feel the quality
Yeah.
of what they offer. You know,
Hmm.
so it's
Hmm.
no like I'm giving or they're giving to me. But I feel like in my experience sitting for men,
Hmm.
it's just a quiet space. I kind of become neutral, and it
Hmm.
becomes more about them experiencing them. And I do
Hmm.
want to start incorporating tantra into my mushroom experiences.
Yeah, yeah,
I had been resisting it for so long because I really want to get the tantra thing down.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
want to
yeah,
get the table work thing down. I want to get the hand movements.
yeah,
I want to
yeah,
get
yeah,
to
yeah,
that
yeah. That's
conscious,
important.
unconscious space before
Hmm.
I start bringing mushrooms into the experience,
Hmm.
because I don't want to trick my mind to think I'm doing something and it's not happening. I want to
Yeah,
see it what it's like when I'm sober.
that's a very mature way to look at things, because like I do martial arts, and like you know if you're gonna try to get good at something, get your black belt in karate first. Then you can
Mhm.
move on to something else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Focus that energy on that, and that's kind of like what you're doing right now. You're a
yeah.
metaphysical martial artist. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
stay in the tantra dojo. In the Master Yao table
Right.
dojo
I'm about
as
to
long as you
start
can.
again.
You
I'm
are?
about to start again. Well, I'm in Master Yao's. I'm in a class. I need to write Master Yao. I'm in some kind of class, some kind of cell water body class. It's about like how to bring more energy to your cells.
Okay. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 I'm
Yeah.
in that class and I'm like, oh shit, I think the class is supposed to start today, or maybe I don't know, if he never sent me a follow-up email, so I'm gonna have to write
We
it
got a
back.
class at night at 9 o'clock tonight, actually. So I doubt you have
Oh
anything to
dang.
say.
Oh,
but it's
what
but
class?
it's not.
What level are you in?
I'm in tier 2, so it's not.
Oh, me
But it's
too.
yeah. We're fin. This is like either a last night or one more night. So yeah, yeah. Unless you got
Oh,
like a 10 o'clock on the. Actually, no. Our class be going late, so I doubt you have a class tonight.
did you guys have your activation already?
No, because of a big storm came and the people were out of the they were out of the state, so they
Hmm.
couldn't make it. So, but I think all that whole class and stuff is kind of getting combined together. So we'll you
Make
know
it happen.
yeah, but
So
oh, go ahead, go ahead.
so I want to. So I'm starting up soon. So I want to start. one of my goals in 2024 is to hold more space for men to experience tantric touch.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I want to have these mixed experiences where a man comes and I take him on a microdose journey, because I'm not trying to
Mm.
get you, because I'm very sensitive. So already, like, when the energy is on you, like, I don't want to be too wrapped up in that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
want to give them a microdose and then do like table work, but that's not necessarily following the guidelines of what I learned at Master Yao, but
Mm-hmm.
more that's about intuitive touch
Yeah.
and
Intuitive touch.
feeling for where they need relief, and then just
Mm-hmm.
like relieving that energy. And this isn't a happy ending experience.
Yeah. 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 Well, it's a happy ending experience, but not
Yeah, but
anything sexually at all.
yes,
You know what I'm
exactly,
saying? Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
But
There's
we'll
no
see.
sexual, because even when you worked on, well, the sisters working on the brothers that night, like, and I just talked about this earlier. It's like to Master Yao, I was just saying that, like, you said something very simple, such a simple thing. It was something like, um, let go, because we're here for that, or you said something like that on that line, like, or let go, or it was, what did you say? You said something like, that's what we're here for, let go, something like that. And for somebody that just did it for the first time, that was probably one of the best things I could hear in that specific situation, because after that, I think that's when I really started to let go, and that's when things started moving. And
Hmm.
that was one of the most subtly intense experiences I've ever had in my life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, subtly intense.
Yeah.
That's a great way to describe it. And
Mhm.
I love that for you. Like, I love holding space for men to like, it's almost like they're like these little hermit crabs. They're like, peeking
Mhm.
out of
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
shell, and they go
Yeah.
back in, and they like come out, and they're just waiting for the chance to like shed a skin and then go to a better shell.
Yeah.
But it's
Exactly.
like, we gotta women who can hold such beautiful space for that, if they don't allow their ego to show up in that
Yeah.
space.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
you had told me recently, you did that piece of chocolate I gave you.
Yes.
So
Mhm.
there was probably like 0.35 grams in each of
Mhm.
those chocolates,
Mhm.
and it was golden teacher. And so I make mushroom chocolate, honey, and tea, but the
Mhm.
chocolate I make from cacao nibs.
Mhm.
So it, to me, it has the spirit of cacao on it,
Mhm.
plus the mushroom, and it just, to me, makes it 10 more times
Yeah.
intense.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
What was the
Yeah.
experience like for you? Now, my microdose products, I mostly sell to women. Men don't buy my microdoses because they all be talking about, I want to go to the moon. And I'm like,
Mm-mm. No,
you don't need all of
you don't
that.
need. Yeah, that's not what it's about. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you something. I was trying to, like, I got a lot of different things going on in my life. It's different projects I got going on that's
Mhm,
happening right now. And after that after that took that microdose,
mhm,
my focus has been like a laser.
mhm,
It has been like, I'm serious. It's been like a laser, like everything. Like I wanted to do it, I didn't really know how to do, as far as small things like organizations, different things that I know I need to get better at.
mhm,
It's like been magnified. You know, like I told you, the first thing I did once because I did feel it. It wasn't no it wasn't a it wasn't a it was a I felt it. I definitely felt it. And once it felt it, it guided me in a direction. But also, then this might sound funny, might make sense to you, but it also reminded me that I need to get back with my mushroom family
mhm.
on a consistent basis. I'm not just talking about psychedelics. I'm talking about turkey tail. I'm talking about just, the health aspect of it as well. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna tell you something. I was struggling a while with like having like energy that I have to do. Like sometimes I drink coffee, different like that. As soon as I got some of the mushroom coffee, you know what I'm saying, with the shiitake and all that stuff in it. You
Mhm,
know, ever since I started implementing mushrooms again, starting with what you gave me,
mhm,
it's like my whole body has changed. It's like, cause like
mhm.
I think it's embracing the fact, because I used to do it before and I
Yeah.
stopped, and I moved. When I moved, I kind of stopped. When I moved back to Atlanta, I stopped. Just taking mushrooms, even just the tea and stuff like that. And now it's like, this is where you need to be. That was
Yeah.
my experience. Focus and get me back home to my mushroom family. That's what it did.
Yeah. How was your wife? I know it was her first time. And I'm grateful that you shared that was your experience microdosing. Recently
Mm-hmm.
this week, I had given some microdoses to another young man,
Mm-hmm.
and he really enjoyed it. He did a yoga session by himself, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
and meditated, and he was like,
Mm-hmm.
that was the most powerful thing. And
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
try to women get it. Women understand that microdosing isn't about going on a trip. But
Mm-hmm.
men sometimes want that intensity. They want to be
Uh,
taken to the edge. So I'm very grateful that you was able to
mm-hmm.
try a microdose and just be there and get
Yeah.
guided and realize that it's subtle, but
Mm-hmm.
it's impactful.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
just in
yeah,
a
yeah.
gentle way. It's not, you get the option and not do none of this stuff that you see.
I used to remember. I remember one day, before my dad passed, and I remember I microdosed, and I walked in a room,
Hmm.
and it was crazy just because I could feel all his energy just like permeating from, like pain and oh, you know what I'm saying? All these, I could feel it. And it was really intense, you know what I mean? I was just like, wow, you know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, I guess I took either the wrong or right day to, microdose and go over to see my pops.
Yeah.
Because it was, I could feel it all and I could like almost hear his thoughts and, feel his energy and stuff and his pain and all that stuff and stuff, and it was, it was interesting. But the reason why I asked you earlier about if you can navigate on this, navigate better on 7 grams is because like I noticed that this time, instead I put it like this. You know how like you get a water hose, you turn it on and it's strong enough and you just flap all over the place, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
That's how my 5 gram journey was, you know what I'm saying? The water just go all, like this, yeah, yeah, yeah. But 7, it was like the hose was still just as powerful, but it was holding and you can move it.
Yeah.
You can water
Yeah.
the plants, you can splash the dog with it, the cat with it, you know what I'm saying? You can drink out of it, you know, and that's the reason why I'm saying all that is because even with the microdose, once I embraced it and felt it, I knew how to let it,
To its ways.
yeah, yeah, just yeah, exactly. Just I knew that they were. I call them they. That's what I call them.
Hmm.
That's my name.
That's
I
their
always call them.
pronouns.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I call them the people that when you go on your trips, the well,
Yeah.
not people but the entities. I just call them they. That's what I call them.
Hmm.
They said to do this.
Yeah.
They showed me this. I guess they are the mushrooms, but the
Yeah.
spores, but they the more I go, I see a better relationship
Hmm.
with them. You know what I mean? And you
Definitely.
know, yeah, 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 yeah.
That's so
So
beautiful.
yeah, yeah,
But
it was
but before you ask the next
yeah.
question, how was the experience for your wife? Because that was her first time.
Okay, so okay, she was once it kicked in,
Hmm.
she felt the difference.
Hmm.
Okay, definitely, obvious, but then I kind of guided her so she didn't think of, she's gonna have to jump out the window or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? I was just
Good.
kind of like, relax. It ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? But after that, it was complete calm.
Mm.
Yep,
All
complete
those
calm.
worries, because
Exactly.
I noticed she was like carrying a lot of thoughts, a lot of
Yeah,
thinking.
yeah, 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 exactly.
So I was wondering if the thoughts would have come just like relieved us for a little bit, where it's
Mm-hmm.
like you can choose to entertain all the weight of the thinking, or
Mm-hmm.
you could not. You get the choice.
Mm-hmm.
You get the
Yep.
options, and it's nice. It's nice to be able to have options.
Okay. We got a good question here from another Zosa, my man Suleiman, well, he's up in the DMV now, but he's saying, are mushrooms considered a sentient life form? Woof. Hey,
Oh, I
now
think so.
Zosa,
By
yeah,
Baba Kalindi's standards, heck
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
heck
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
about to say, Suleiman, you need to. I'm telling you, man, you need to watch all those lectures they got on YouTube for Baba Kalindi because he breaks it down to the very T when it comes to where they came from, how they, how they work with you, how long they've been here, everything, man. Them lectures, man, with Baba Kalindi, boy, they do
Yeah,
not, they are next level, man.
they don't disappoint, and the information always shows up for you. Like
Yeah.
he'll just be telling this, and it's passive. You're listening to this thing, and then
Mm-hmm.
it'll all click just like that, and you'll know
Yeah.
exactly
Yeah.
what,
Yeah.
what he was talking
Yeah.
about when he
Yeah.
was talking.
It makes sense. Like I remember how he was showing in his lecture how they were doing the open of the mouth ceremony, and the
Hmm.
caps were sitting there right on the table. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
people, if you don't really look at it, you don't even realize that. And talking
Yeah.
about how they did that, and and
You
and
know,
okay.
I'm just now in this journey, part of my astronaut journey, where I'm
Mm-hmm.
starting to like um, just say I know. Like the mushroom shows me things in the journey, and then I'll be like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I know. Like I
Yeah.
know it.
Yeah.
But then when
Yeah.
I'm not, I'll be like, oh, because I didn't read it in the book, because it was a download. And like
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
recently I
Yeah.
kind
Yeah.
of been microdosing, and I've been realizing like I know a lot of things. Like I know
Yeah.
very
Exactly.
specific things about the woman's body and how to do
Mm-hmm.
this,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna start talking about the things I know about
Yeah. Yeah.
and being okay with that.
You have to, we've been indoctrinated, programmed for so long in this place, and you have to vibrate, and I'm not even talking about meditation because this is a completely different meditation. You have to see how this place is on a different level,
Hmm.
and with the guidance of entities that are billions of years old, like literally, and that's what happens with they the you know they but that's what the mushrooms do. And once you kind of learn the science behind it, and Bobby Kalindi can really break it down, um it makes even more sense
For sure.
why, yeah, why, how it's all connected through our ancient cultures. Because people, and this is another thing, people don't realize that a lot of these African spiritual systems use this. A lot
Oh,
of
for
people
sure.
they
As a
don't have a clue.
sacrament.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. People don't have a clue. They just think that, it's just, but no, people don't understand that this was something we've been doing from the jump.
In the jump. Yeah.
Documented. Not, and this ain't no just saying that. What I'm saying?
You know,
Still doing it today in Africa.
and I wanted to say this. So a lot of the time I tap in with the mother when I'm doing mushrooms. And you had said something about having like mushroom coffee and tea, or
Hmm.
whatever in the morning.
Hmm.
And there was a one specific time where I was tapped in with the mother. It was during Cancer season, which is actually the fourth house in astrology, which represents the mother.
Hmm.
Um, and the mushroom they showed me that all mushrooms work together to support one another,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
it's like this family tree where
Hmm.
you go to, it's like going to a hospital. You go to one person for this problem, you go to another
Yeah.
person for this problem, you go for another to this one. And at the time I had foraged some reishi mushroom. I was like out
Oh wow.
and I seen
Yeah.
a huge chunk of it. So I foraged it. I dehydrated it. And it showed me that after a high dose mushroom experience, people should drink reishi tea. Because what reishi does is it brings you back into the body. And when you
Mm.
fall asleep, then you journey in the dream state too.
Yeah, dream state. Yeah, I got you.
And it
I got
puts
you.
you in a deeper dream state so that you can continue what you were doing when you were awake or conscious and journeying. You can continue to do it in the night and complete the trip.
N- Another question the good
Mhm.
brothers Zosa has here. He says, "What's the science of consuming, eating, and using a sentient life form as a food source? They mushrooms wish to participate."
Do the mushrooms wish to participate?
Let me keep it up there. I'm sorry. Go
I
ahead.
think I think it's a part of the experience. I think it's a
Mm-hmm.
part of the life cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Because whether you eat the mushrooms or not, the spores are on everything. They're
Yeah,
on every
exactly.
surface. They're already on your skin.
Yep.
And so I don't think eating them is a matter of like their loss of life,
Mm-hmm.
because the
Exactly.
mycelium, the
Mm-hmm.
spores, they're always going to still be on the plant. If you Let's say if we just take a portobello for example, it has
Mm-hmm.
what you call gills on the other underside of
Yeah.
the cap. In those gills are thousands and thousands and millions and billions of spores.
Mm-hmm.
So you're becoming part of the mushroom. You're just
Mm-hmm.
returning back to a source that was already there.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, but this is
Because they,
that's my thought though.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because they've been doing their job for a very long time, and they're gonna once we go under, you know what I'm saying, and we're broken down, you know what I'm saying. They're a part of it as well. It's all interconnected, you know what I'm saying, and they're all
Yeah.
connected.
So,
But since they have this intelligence, they um they try to help humanity,
yeah.
to move forward as opposed to they're definitely an asset as opposed to a liability. You know what I
For
mean? They're
sure, for
they're here to
sure.
help us and
I
teach
think
us
so
and
too.
show
They're
us.
they're
Yeah.
yeah, a master teacher, a
Oh yeah.
master
Yeah. Yeah.
teacher, and master
Mhm.
technology. And I don't
Mhm.
think it becomes like a loss, like
Mhm.
sacrificing an animal would be. It's
Yes.
just a part of the system that we have here.
He says thanks.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, man. So,
Yes.
yeah, Saloma, Harlem is Slayman. We still actually, like I said, hollered the good sister Comfort. She's up near you, so y'all link y'all up.
Yeah, please,
Hey, look,
please.
look, another man to the to the added on some 12 to 13.
No, I'm trying. I want this year. I'm gonna sit for probably like 5 men this year, probably 5 or 7, more so
Mm-hmm.
7. I want to get 7 men who are willing to go on a 7 gram journey. And I actually have my first one. I'm going to Atlanta next week to sit for somebody to take 7 grams, which I'm really excited about.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
You'll be near me, huh? Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
Y'all have to
right.
send me a Master Yow's on Friday. I might be up there. Oh no, Friday is my ceremony.
Uh,
But
no, all right, we're gonna have to. Yeah, we definitely have to talk after this.
yeah.
I know, and it's like I just saw you 2 weeks ago, right?
Right, right. I'm so grateful for you though. I'm so so
Yeah.
grateful for you and I can't wait to teach you how to grow.
Oh,
That's a
hey,
big
hey.
passion of mine. It's like
Yeah,
teaching
yeah,
people how
yeah,
to
yeah.
cultivate their own mushrooms.
Mm-hmm.
So when you had said that you had gotten on this really focused, your energy got real focused and you started to do what you were supposed to be doing and not messing around. So right now, that's the energy I'm under.
Yeah.
So I'm really focused and really dedicated on all the things that I have going on. So when I hear people's feedback from their experience microdosing, I always wonder what part of my energy was put into the experience that they're having. And so the way you're saying that you've been on it, that's where I'm at in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just beautiful to see that transfer, but to
Yeah,
give you an
yeah.
opportunity
That
to
energy
do your
transfer.
own.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's that's definitely. Um, I could feel that, and I was so excited. Then that next day, I was like, I was like, well, I did in the morning. I'm like, let's take it. You know what I'm saying? And it you did not it was definitely great. And I'm just honored to soon be a student under you, on all levels, because I ain't just talking about growing, the psychedelic mushrooms, because I mean these
Oh, once.
mushrooms are so important and they
Yeah.
have so much, and they can be used for food and they can heal. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That guy Paul what's the guy?
Most damn
Is it
it,
Paul
you're
Stamets?
right.
Yeah, Stamets.
Mhm,
Yeah, his mom had the breast cancer. She took
mhm.
turkey tail, and she pretty much she was
Yeah,
straight. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? She just kept on taking
yeah,
turkey tail, and yeah, you know what I'm saying. So,
yeah. And turkey tail is what you call water soluble.
hmm
So all you have to do to get the benefits of turkey tail is to it's a good medicine for sure. I know
yeah,
you got
yeah, yeah, yeah,
class.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I do actually. Yeah,
Oh,
thank
I
you
know
for
you got
reminding me.
class.
My
So
my, I know I'm gonna get chewed out, but hey, so since you got to come back, we got to keep on, teaching the folks if you
yeah,
don't mind.
for
You know what I'm
sure.
saying? You know, what I'm
For
saying now I
sure.
was
For
trying to,
sure.
announce since Oye's in Bali, and I was talking to Darren LeBaron. He's over across seas. I was trying to, but I think we'll keep on building, and
Hmm.
check her at Comfy P
Yeah, I'm
at
at Comfyp on
yep.
Instagram.
Yep, and I did put your in the description. Her link is there and etc. on her link tree. So, she if she blesses the Polka Dot Rabbit podcast again, did you see the Polka Dot Rabbit? He has a mushroom in the hand. Did you see it?
Yeah, yeah, I saw it today when you sent me the link. So I was like, oh, this is real timely. This
Yeah,
is
yeah, 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 yeah. Like there's a lot of symbolism in that thing. I'm sure that some people get it, but one day I'll break down the Polka Dot Rabbit.
you
I'll
go
have a
ahead.
whole episode on it because it's got a couple layers to it. But that's it for us. You know what I'm saying? We are done because, like she said, I got to go to this class before I get leg
Yeah.
drop off the top ropes. Um, sis, it was wonderful. I can't wait till we start
Connect
making
again.
other things happen, and I start learning from you. And I
Yes.
can't wait to have you back on there again. Y'all
Yeah.
tuning in, you just missed it, but you can go to YouTube and watch the whole video, and I'm about to post it here as well, the replay. So, sister, thank you again, Sister Comfort, and
Thank you.
we'll talk soon.
Yeah, we'll talk soon. You have a
All right,
great one. Bye
you too.
bye.
Peace.